What the papers are saying. First, let's take a sneak peek through the papers. First, the Nation newspaper says capital market is anchoring $1 trillion economy target. This according to Minister of Finance Edun. Federal government unveils according to blueprint, says federal government unveils $2 billion fiber infrastructure. Digital economy attracts $191 million FDI. Nigerian Tribune still toes the same line. Edun, Bagudu, Tijani, Rekindle hope on Nigeria's economy. $2 billion fiber infrastructure rollout set for fourth quarter. Platform Times talks about the row in the oil industry, where fuel imports surged to 436 billion naira in 9 days. Dangote faces stiff competition. Nigerian News Direct, from the Citadel, ASU, SANU, NASU fight dirty over 50 billion naira earned allowances allocation. The Punch newspaper, Tinubu's 2027 bid, APC courts opposition governors with high stakes offers. And this Nigeria talks about the compulsory voting, where reps face more fire. I'd rather spend 6 months in jail than obey such law, says rights activist Olisa Agbakoba. And sports, Iwobi reveals Lampard revived my career. Veronica, and as well as Edu. Let's look at some of the things here, because if you look at the Nation newspaper, as well as the blueprints and the Nigerian Tribune, they actually sing the same tune, this morning. Capital market is anchoring $1 trillion economy target. And then the fact that they are also looking at unveiling $2 billion fiber infrastructure, digital economy, which is also attracting $191 million FDI. So we've been talking about the capital market playing a very significant role in our own economy, and shoring up because of the different policies that are bringing on board. But not everyone still understands the capital market. It has its own challenges. But according to the financial experts, they're saying that it's one of the ways of shoring up our dwindling economy.
Talking about some of the people that do not understand the capital market and how it relates with the economy. Hey, I'm one of them. I'm one of them. I need a lot of education around that area. For the $2 billion fiber infrastructure, it's a very, very good development. And I'm thinking that, hey, it's coming a little late. However, I thank God that it is coming at all. The work on the infrastructure will start at the fourth quarter of the year, so I expect that it will run for maybe a year or so. That will so much improve the internet space in Nigeria. We already have a link that Globe put together. So we might just tap from there. I don't know the details of how they intend to do that. But if you have a link already, I mean, why go create another one? It's the one that we have right now belongs to a Nigerian, so patriotism might come to play. It is something that we have been expecting for a long time. The whole internet space will just change. We are not going to have the network is not too good here and it's not too good there. That is a major and very important investment, and I'm so happy it's happening.
For the long and short of capital market is that some people have money, some people have the business idea, they have all of these things, but they're looking for those who have money to invest. But some of the challenges there, if you look at the primary market, primary capital market or secondary, there are still some challenges. Some investors still feel, well, if this thing is not well regulated, we'll be faced with a lot of challenges, we'll not want to invest in it, and not showing up, ethical practices and infrastructure. But in all the same, we still feel like, it's still one of the things that we expect for our economy to thrive.
The Nigeria Stock Exchange is supposed to be there to serve as a regulator of all of the activities around the capital market. And those who are seeking to invest need to just engage with the stock exchange to understand what happens around there. And like you rightly pointed, the capital market is that place where you can invest long-term, short-term, whatever term you want to call it. at the end of the day. And because of market literacy, a lot of persons have not been able to understand what it is that goes on at that point, and so are not investing as they should. And so now how we bridge that gap, and also how that we also bridge that gap between economic development will also make that market more robust and accessible to all Nigerians. So it is a matter that has to be worked on as we are looking to improve on the market, as we are looking to hinge whatever we are looking at on the capital market. We must ensure market literacy for all Nigerians so they can also take advantage of it. We've seen banks who list at the capital market their shares, and they come out to talk about profits. When they are rebasing whatever it is they are doing, they go to the floor of the stock exchange using so that Nigerians can access their shares and can be a part of the businesses. That's what happens there. So if we continue to ensure market literacy, we'll see a lot of people buy into this move by the government at the end of the day.
That's right. Let's move on to platform times. Fuel imports surge to 436 billion naira in 9 days. Dangote faces stiff competition. We were happy that we had Dangote refinery, coming on stream. At the same time, we were thinking, yes, there won't be over dependence on, importation and all of that because of the strain it puts on our foreign exchange. But here we go. 436 billion naira is still a threat to what we think is our own, national, what do we call it? Well, in the oil industry, we have Warri Refinery. They are not even talking about it anymore.
Yes, when I saw that headline, I was a little bit surprised. I said, are they still importing that much? And with the Dangote refineries doing, do I call it the magic with pricing? How competitive is it?
They say it's not because it's not competitive. It's not allowing for easy competition among themselves. So the price is not, sustainable. That's the reason they want it out.
Exactly. So if they are doing that, then it's time for Dangote or all the players in that sector to come together and say, look, we have to chart a course for Nigeria, because this thing is affecting Nigeria as a country and affecting Nigerians even more. It is so expensive to go to work now, and all these things play out to that.
It's even expensive to stay at home. There is no light and then there's heat.
So, well, let's wait and see if this large importation is going to give us any kind of relief. If the idea is profit for the marketers, then there's a problem. If the idea is for the availability of the product for the people, then it is good. But it's looking so much like profit for the marketers.
Either way, two wrongs would never make a right. Because
absolutely.
We know what dollar is saying to the naira. How is bugaing to our currency, so to speak.
Even though we are trying to stabilize the naira, we are still having that disparity at the end of the day. But the challenge had always been the fact that most of the marketers felt that Dangote is going to be the sole distributor, and so it was not going to ensure that competitiveness that they have often spoken about. And then we have seen the drama around, this person's petrol is better, that person's petrol is not, and all of those conversations. How are they accessing that petrol? The pricing, is it profitable for them? They'll tell you they're in business for profit at the end of the day. So a lot of things happening behind the scene that we may not know about may have not been in the interest of a majority of these marketers, and so decided, let us push our own business and keep importing the way we can, so that we can still be in business for profit. Because if we go to Dangote, he can now start, becoming that emperor for this business, and we may not be able to do what we want at the end of the day.
We do not
but
want.
yes, monopoly is what we don't want.
But at the same time, what is NNPCL doing?
What is NNPC doing? The refineries, like you rightly know, the one that came upstream, I think it was the Port Harcourt refinery at some point, that was last year, or Warri, whichever one amongst the two, had shut down. We were blending, but it has shut down
So
as we speak.
Warri refinery later turns, makes us worry.
Yeah, so we are worried right now as to how do we move on from there. Why are we not allowing other local manufacturers who are also playing in this environment to have access to crude? They have often spoken about the fact that they haven't gotten crude from government, and so they want crude from government so that there can be that competition.
So many things I would want to know concerning all this stuff.
That's right.
There's an opportunity for people to invest in modular refineries. It's a different
Some people have licenses, but do not have access to crude.
That's right.
Well,
there is an easy calm in the citadel of learning, and at the same time is over what is the root of every evil, which is money. You recall that if there's an allocation of 50 billion naira aid allowances, to these people. So ASU, SANU, and NASU are fighting dirty. It's on the front page of Nigerian News Direct. So exactly, some are saying that it's going to be an 80-20, sharing formula. I said no, that's just, it doesn't make sense.
Anybody that hears it will say why. Are you saying that the non-academic staff unions are not as important as the academic staff?
That has always been the problem.
It has been there for ages.
And one cannot function without
the other.
Yes. So, I mean, let's think about fairness.
So who is supposed to talk about or put in place the sharing formula? I think we should not just leave that for them to look at how they should resolve. There has to be a template which they can work with, then we'll not be having this dirty fight that we are seeing at the end of the day.
That's right. Very good. So let's move on to the Punch newspaper. Tinubu's 2027 bid. APC courts opposition governors with high-stakes offers. Governors offered ministerial appointments, return tickets to nominate successors, National Assembly members, others. I want us to take this in line with this Nigeria saying that compulsory voting reps are facing more fire, because this has to do with politics, voting, and of the quite related. But if you look at it, some people are already fighting for their own survival. Those that are going for second term are already thinking of, I think I just need to leave my party and join the larger sheep.
Yes, this is a period where people get disappointed. People say, what is going on with this person? How can you take that kind of decision? Look, the drama is going to be louder as we get closer to election day or campaign period. APC is having a lot of people decamping into APC, and yet they are still looking for the ones that are, how do I call them, choice members. I mean, look at this now.
Juicy positions.
they are talking to governors, and look, governors are really big when it comes to party politics.
That's right.
So APC is doing the right thing right now, talking to them, giving them high stakes, getting them to sway their minds and say, look, I'm going the other way. Now, what we want to talk about the
compulsory voting.
The compulsory voting thing. From the very first day this thing came up, my question was, how are they going to enforce it? How? That idea may sound novel, but is it practicable? And for somebody like Agbakoba to come out and say, look, you'd rather go to jail than to, to do this, is actually a big dent in that idea.
But Veronica, do we have a right to criticize anyone who is now elected into office when we fail to participate in our own national obligation? It should be an obligation for us as Nigerians, because if
of course it should be an obligation.
Should be a partaker of it.
It should be an obligation for us as Nigerians if you are educated enough to understand why this is an obligation. But a majority of Nigerians do not have that understanding of their role, the role they play in a democracy, and so they are relaxed and just want to make comments on what goes on social media and all of it. But as it stands right now, we have to have a level playing field. For me, it's this move by the House of Reps it's obviously pointing to the fact that there is a failure on the part of political parties engaging people who are meant to be part of their political party. You are not engaging them enough, such that the people who are part of your party can also educate those who are not part of the party to come and become a member of that party. It's a failure of that structure. And so perhaps the House of Rep wanted to come in and save the whole process. But here we are, a lot of uproar here and there, people not trusting the system, thinking that the system wants to take advantage. Then on the matter of APC talking to governors and all of it, I differ on what Etuma is saying they're doing the right thing. I'm not sure I'm on that page with them. Why are you calling people to come or trying to woo these persons to come and belong to? Of course,
democracy is a game of numbers. The more you are, the more the merrier.
Democracy is a game of numbers. But then it begins to turn towards the path where people are saying we are becoming one-party state.
Yeah, I understand.
At the end of the day. That's what it is.
So if we become one-party state, whose fault
is that democracy?
No, so whose
fault is that democracy? Yes or no?
We just talked about compulsory voting.
Is that
Sorry,
democracy?
we just talked about compulsory
just
voting.
Yes or no, we answer me. Is that democracy?
No. You see, the thing is
that
democracy at the end of the day because it's a game of numbers.
The
higher the number, the higher the figure, the more chance you get.
It's not democracy.
So that is why we need to be
because you have come out to say that we are not heading towards a one-party state. Yet you are speaking to governors. Then it means you are speaking from both sides.
It is not left for the governor.
So it is now left for the governor to decide, oh, I do not want to be a part of this.
Based on what because supporters agree upon.
Because this is where I want to belong.
Right.
But at the end of the day, the party in its wisdom is doing what they feel is right. But does it benefit our democracy? That is what I'm asking.
Yeah. Because of our time.
Okay.
Because of our time. Let's talk about what is reported regarding Iwobi, who revealed that Lampard revived his career. Again, he had lackluster experience when he nearly joined Everton in 2019 or thereabouts, and then he didn't really perform. And Lampard gave them a new lease of life.
There are those who will say that Lampard had an underwhelming performance while he was in Everton as manager. But Iwobi is obviously saying that was not his experience under Lampard because Lampard was able to push him to see his potentials, especially how he was sold on loan to Fulham, and now he's performing. And it seems I'm saying party.
It's still party anyway.
the club is now perhaps regretting their move, seeing how he's performing in Fulham.
We got to go, folks. Yeah. That's about it for the newspapers for today. Do stay with us on TVC Breakfast. Coming up, Nigeria's financial landscape shifts debt reduction, increased solvency. Join us after the break.